Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys the LockBit ransomware as a service CNC server from inside out. Okay, so I'm going to reveal what our team at the product, which is I'm also in an advisory board of the threat intelligence company. So it's really interesting, and it's really powerful to see how much effort, money they put in this kind of backends, CNC backends about the doing and delivering their bad things. So first, a little bit about my agenda today. So I'm going to introduce myself. Then I'm going to speak about my title is here slightly different. Right? It's not silverfish, but never mind. So is yeah. So, and then I'm going to show you guys the executive summary, because by the way, this is my previous research. So I was also presenting them in other conferences. So I'm going to show you guys the executive summary. Then we will go on the technical analysis of the botnet itself. And then we're going to ramp up with some kind of statistics. And then I'm going to show you a little peek about the USTA platform, which is a threat intelligence platform built by our guys at Product. And then we're going to conclude with something with some best practices. And yeah, I have some news at the end, but let's keep it for then, okay? Now, about myself, I am from Macedonia originally. I'm born and grew up in a small city called Gostivar. Currently working in Amsterdam. I'm holding a lead architect role for advanced threats at Cisco, covering Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And same time, I'm also in a board of advisor at Product, which is a very old, pure, let's say, targeted threat intelligence company, which is out there and doing a really great stuff. Yeah, I started with the Commodore 64. Yeah, 2007, my first iPhone hack using SymClone that gone viral that time, and that's how I end up actually today speaking to you guys about this kind of stuff. So that's actually the spark that takes me to the cybersecurity. Yeah, let's start. So let's go for a LockBit ransomware as a service. First of all, we all know ransomware, right? I mean, we know how they do it. We know why they do it. We know the benefit behind of it and stuff like that. But honestly, when I'm thinking about the ransomware, a lot of time I'm always thinking about how easy it is to deliver a ransomware. Okay, in the past, when I used to live and work in Milan, Italy, I was working also for another threat intelligence company. Part of the service was threat intelligence, where we were also chasing and trying to figure out and taking down bad guys who were stealing credit card information and doing man-in-the-middle browser attack to steal credit card information and to transfer the money, right? And we know how complex it is to build that kind of attack, right? Where you need to steal the credit card information, to bypass second factor, doing man-in-the-middle browser attack to steal a couple of dollars or a couple of euros, right? And then ransomware came in, and you didn't need to do nothing of this, right? Any of this. So you don't need to do any stuff, right? You just need to land the encryptor or ransomware application, and then you just start to encrypt the files, and you are asking up my money, right? So one of the reasons why ransomware is also very popular is really easy doable. I mean, you don't need to have multiple people to do something like that if you are a skillful bad guy, of course. So LockBit is relatively a new ransomware. It became popular in a couple of months. It was formerly known by like ABCD ransomware, and it was growing. You know, in last couple of months, like it's really so, because right now we also have a top list of the ransomware. So we are living on an age where we are actually ranking which bad guys are better than other bad guys, right? So how we came up to this CNC server, how we managed to break inside, it was that our team got contacted by one of our customers. They asked for help, and then yeah, our team step in. They done the forensic. They revealed the compromises, the investigation of the compromises, the artifacts and stuff like that. And then how do we end up actually on the CNC server itself? So yeah, getting inside, encrypting the private keys. We also save the customer files without paying any ransomware, and with a lot of other customers, not all of them. we didn't have the ultimate luck to save everybody, but we saved a lot of customers which were under that affiliate on the time of the attack. Yeah, now I'm going to present the report. By the way, this report is also a more longer and more wider explained, but I just made a shorter version for the PowerPoint and to be able to keep it the time within our presentation today. Now, Speaking about executive summary, so LockBit is a malicious program that prevents users from accessing their files. Okay, so when he is penetrating himself, he's scanning your network, he's checking for usable targets, he's spreading the infection, he's stealing and encrypting the files. Okay, so that's the main risk. So he's doing two things, right? He's stealing the files and he's encrypting them, right? That's the main purpose of the LockBit. But what's the very interesting thing here is that according to the coverware, which is some kind of ransomware or analytic platform, I'm not very familiar with this specific statistics, but it was one of our guys put it on the report, which was really cool. It shows that LockBit is number 3 right now in a top list in worldwide about the ransomware attack. So they own a market share of 7.5%. Okay, so again, we are living on the age where COVID is everywhere and ransomware is everywhere, and we have a top list about the ransomware and market share about the ransomware. I hope that this will not going to end up in the NASDAQ, so where the people can buy, stocks from these bad guys. Okay, that's the worst case scenario that can happen with this nightmare. Okay, now coming about the ransomware as a service. So this is actually the same software as a service that we use every day in our day-by-day life. Okay, so everything that we use from the cloud based on some subscription, we call software as a service, right? So we use YouTube. Service of YouTube is free, right? If we pay the $5 per month to avoid the advertisement, then we actually take some kind of software as a service from the YouTube, right? This system is similar or exactly the same. So what they done is actually they built a SaaS platform with multi-tenancy, auto provisioning, and payment system in one platform where they can resell or rent the platform for the affiliates, where they can carry on ransomware attacks. So it's interesting, right? So they built MSSP portal, actually, let's call it this way, for ransomware attacks. Here, the affiliates, the users, right? The guys who wants to use this platform to deliver ransomware attacks, so they can create a new ransomware samples. So they have a click, create, they're going to have a unique piece of malware or piece of ransomware, whatever you call it, with never seen SHA-256 before, right? So it's unknown SHA-256. And then they can drop this unique SHA-256 and then they can start, let's say, encrypt or infect the victim machines. Let's see how it's inside. So the structure itself is that the ransomware owners employ multiple affiliates to breach into the victims. So let's put this way. You don't know nothing about hacking, but you came to this platform, you managed to rent them, the ransomware as a service, and then you go in the underground and you rent hackers to hack the companies in behalf of you, or you buy a hacked compromise endpoints to deliver your ransomware. So basically, again, you don't need to have any hacking or penetration test or whatever we call that, knowledge to be able to deliver this kind of attack. So basically, you rent the ransomware as a service, you hire hackers, or you buy a compromised machines, and then you deploy your let's say your ransomware. Another thing here is that also they share the commission from 10 to 30% from each ransom payment. So basically, these ransomware as a service owners, they also can give access to you for free. Okay, so they say, okay, here is the platform for free. Use it. Wherever you're going to have a victim, we're going to split between 10 and 30% margins for the service that we deliver for you. And also they provide a virtual machine, exploits, and tools, and everything. So they prepare the guys to deliver ransomware attacks, which are not, educated or which don't have any knowledge about how to do this kind of stuff. Here on the right side, you can see an example of a threat actor using extortion method, right? So they extort people to pay them ransom, otherwise they're going to release their files. How is the structure of this business? Okay, So there is the affiliate panel has a capacities like creating and building a ransomware executables. Okay, so this is really, really important. Why is this important? Because again, you don't need to build the payload itself to be able to encrypt the files. They're going to provide for you. So you don't need to be a malware author. They're going to provide you the decryptor program. Okay, so you don't need to deal with all this kind of encryptions and keys and stuff like that. They're going to provide you a payment gateway for cryptocurrencies, so you don't need to think about how you're going to get paid. The system itself going to calculate the commission rates between yourself and them. You can monitor your lovely victims, and statistically you can see which one is better to extort or not. And of course, they're going to give you a chat functionality, okay, where you can speak and where you can interact with your victims. Here, as you can see on the right side, this is a text taken from the actual victim, right? So they give them for 10 to 15 minutes to accept the agreement between them. Then that you're going to pay the ransom, and then they're going to decrypt your files. Another thing here is that the affiliate itself, because they give you the platform for free, so they expect from you to bring victims, to bring money. Okay, so they put a lot of effort on you. They tell, okay, if you don't bring a new victims, we're going to close your account. You will never ever have another chance with us, etc., etc. So they're making a target on target earnings kind of things to these guys. Okay, so it's interesting. Now, jumping to a technical analysis. So this section going to contain the management portal of the ransomware as a service. We're going to also contain a ransomware samples. You can find them in our portal, and you can find them also in various software everywhere. Also a decryption software and step-by-step analysis of the LockBit attack kill chain, because the whole attack kill chain is interesting. It's really how they start and how the whole situation is evolving to that point where you are forced to pay the ransom. Let's start with the kill chain, okay? So here, the first thing is the target selection. So LockBit affiliates, they use mass vulnerability scanners, phishing, and credential stuffing, right, to find the new victims, okay? They also, as you can see here, as you can see in our reports, they also buy a compromised remote desktop RDP servers. They buy a compromised servers from the underground, etc., etc. Most important thing that we found here is that they also use a Fortinet VPN exploitation. It was one of the methods used that we detected within this CNC server inside, right? So they use this kind of vulnerabilities from the vendors. In this case, Fortinet, can be anybody else, right? Nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? We all know that. So for that reason, yeah, they use this kind of things here. Here you can see how the user attack vector starts. Okay. Still on the preparation phase, when they're gaining access to the target. So doesn't matter if they purchase the compromised server, or they use hackers to compromise it, or they compromise by themselves. And now lately, I was also reading on the news that they also try to bribe a company users to deliver a ransomware. That's really interesting, right? They pick a company, a big one. They reach out to some people. Hey, do you want to deploy a ransomware to your company? So we're going to split the money. We have seen these kind of things happening lately right now. So they own the machine. They start the enumeration process. They check if there is any controllers. They check for domain controllers. They check for backup servers, NAS servers. So everything that can store data, everything that can be encrypted, right? After that, they start to data extraction. So before the encryption, they extract the data. They store data in the safe place. They evaluate the inside of the data to determine if they are going to do extortion for the victim itself, or they only just going to encrypt and they're going to ask money for them. They push everything on the mega upload server, and then they're ready to go. Then the next thing is, after the data is exploitation, they can go back to the ransomware as a service webpage, as you can see here, and they can generate a unique ransomware sample for that victim. Okay, so now they have the data. The data is cool, is valuable. They proceed here. So you log into your control panel, you download your unique malware sample only for this victim, okay? And then you deploy the ransomware in your victim to start encryption process. The LockBit ransomware is executed manually. When I say manually, this is what we have seen, like a delivery method. But if there is some EDR in place, some, I don't know, ransomware protection in place, some next-gen AV in place, of course, they can leverage also the exploitation, they can leverage some zero-day. It's up to them, right? It's up to the protection of the endpoint, how hardened is the endpoint itself, and what kind of methods they're going to use to bypass these hardening techniques. So ransomware is executed, right? When everything is, so execution is happening, reconnaissance space is trying to eliminate all accessible directories and network shares. So this is where the ransomware itself is deleting the shadow copies using VSS admin, and then he is searching everything that can be encryptable, and he is starting to encrypt each file with random ISC, okay? So ISK. This is very important. And then with the static public key inside the LockBit sample is, again, so they encrypt also the key inside of it, and they use a specific offset inside of the file here. And this shows, and this is making them like unique key for every single file that is encrypted on the endpoint. So this is, again, you know, this is very is interesting to avoid somebody to reverse engineer the ransomware and to find some flaw in the encryption itself and to start decrypting the files using the master key. So to prevent this, they encrypt everything individually. And now what is happening? The demand and negotiation, right? So now all important files are encrypted, backups are deleted, the shadow copies and stuff like that. And the wallpaper is changed. Now they are asking for a ransomware. This is when you are realizing that something is happening and that you need to prepare your wallet to pay the ransom if you are stupid, of course. Here on the left side, you see is the place basically where all your files is encrypted. They're asking how much money you're going to pay, how much time you have. Also, restore my file takes file is created, and help file is also there right on the desktop, so you can read your help file if you need a help how to restore your files. So they're pretty much, you know, they're really helpful, right? They help you to restore your files. Here, as you can see, the LockBit decryptor at the top and the Onion web address, it contains a future instruction for purchasing the software and to decrypting your files using a encrypted sample file. Okay, to be able to access this, you must use a Tor. Okay, so that's one of the interesting things. And then in this manual here, they're also teaching you how to install the Tor and how to reach out to these two domains that you see in the top here on the left top. And then also they have a sample update here. Basically, you can check you can check if your files is encrypted correctly and if can be decrypted correctly. And also a chat support here where you can chat with them, where you can negotiate how much you need to pay, etc., etc. Next one, management panel. So here you manage you manage the affiliates here. Okay, so this is also accessible by the Tor network. It was hidden service, right? Again, and it was managing victims, affiliate accounts, generating new ransomware bills, and serving serving the decryptor software if the demand the ransom is paid. So here you are putting what the service, what your victim's going to receive after they're going to pay the ransom. Okay, so you define their unlocking keys, etc. So thanks note, right? Or maybe invoicing, right? If you want to invoice them, you know, for some kind of, I don't know, tax return and stuff like that. This became a business, and you know, it's really, really scary. Again, trail decrypt mechanism here. This is mandatory, okay? So this is very important. I mean, like an affiliate, you cannot decrypt any victim if you don't have a actual sample from the victim itself. And they do these checks to avoid somebody else to steal the victims, to be able to to avoid fight between the bad guys for a victim. So they made this kind of mechanism to make sure that your victims are yours and somebody else's victims are are owned by himself, you know. So this is really interesting here. Also on the chat here, you can, on the victim button, you can see the master and session case, right? Etc. So first and last visit days, total views, build date. So basically they comments, so they keep all kind of statistics about their victims and what they're going to do with their victims. Yeah, some statistics here, as you can see. View chart, recent visited victims, recent upload test files, right? So basically here you are actually seeing your business, because victim means business, right? And here you can see all of your victims, etc., etc. And also inside of the affiliate management dashboard here, where you're going to send the decryptor for them. Again, remember, the decryptor application works only for that victim, okay? Because when the victim pays the money, and when the money is divided by the ransomware as a service owners, then you then for the affiliate is enabled the option to have a decryption application. Okay, so it's interesting. So they control everything, right? So you got the victim, you managed to extract money from him. The money has been paid, and now finally you can send your victim a decryptor that you can drop from the management portal itself. Now, from the admin side, right? So this is the owners. So we also managed to get inside of the owners portal of the ransomware as a service, right? So what we've seen at the beginning, it was the victims, the affiliate, and now the owners. Okay. So here, as you can see, they right. I mean, they use my PHP admin. So basically, they can manage the MySQL, right? PHP and MySQL actually what we saw in this CNC server. But what was the most important thing here is that with PHP admin, they can extract decryption case for every single user without having access to the affiliate portal, right? So this is stabbing back the affiliates if they don't comply with their game, okay? So that means that if you have some, I don't know, conflict with a ransomware as a service provider, then you can lose all of your encrypted victims because they can still access using this onion address, and they can extract all the decryption keys of your victims. Okay, so they take over the victims by themselves if there is some, you know, conflict of interest or whatever it is. So this was also very interesting to see here, right? That they always have some kind of backdoor to the bad guys who are actually working for them. And the decryptor, right? So here from the victim side, right? On the victim side, when you pay the money, when they got their split, when the system itself allows you to send the victim the decryptor, the victim finally can click and can download the decryptor itself. Okay, so this is from the victim side to see what's going on. So basically, you click and you decrypt the files. Some de-anonymization about the data that we found. Okay, so our team, we revealed the identity of the LockBit affiliates, retailers, and developers itself. So they use a Jabber. So this is their Jabber contact account. So maybe you're going to take some screenshot here. You can do a further research, no problem. You can do that. Next one is, username, number of victims registered, and last access dates for every LockBit affiliate. So these are the affiliates, and look how many victims they have. Okay, so every single of these guys, they made a good money, right? But in total, if you see here, the ransomware as a service owners, they made a huge money, right? Because, you know, they managed to have some good sales team here, right? They build a very good sales team, and this sales team perform very well, you know, bringing all these victims into this trap, you know. Again here, the aliases of the Jabber addresses of couple of affiliates revealed to be also working for Babuk and the Revil ransomware groups. Okay, so we also detected this. So these affiliates, these bad guys, they are also we also have seen them or their nicknames or their, you know, aliases while we were also, you know, researching Babuk and Revil ransomware groups. Again, the connection between two threat actors and things like that, because we still have ongoing investigation and everything. And by the way, when we start the investigation, we always inform the law enforcement, always, especially in Switzerland, because the company is based in Switzerland. And then when we inform them, the wall, ping and pong in connection with the law enforcement is so slow that we are in a hurry to publish what we are finding, but we cannot publish because we inform the law enforcement, and we are waiting the green light for them. For that reason, sometimes, it end up that after 3 months, after 5 months, after 2 years to reveal a report, right? But we intercepted, and we informed the law enforcement 2 years ago, but because the investigation was ongoing, so we couldn't reveal the report, okay? So also here, we cannot reveal too much of the correlation between these two groups, but we know a lot of things about what's going on in the backend. Again, hitting them back, right? Yeah, we capture IP address, right? Well, one of these affiliates. Is a LockBit developers. One of the LockBit developers, right? Based on our observation here, is a Tor network, right? Using VPN. Again, Linux, we managed to fingerprint the operating system itself, right? It has a host name of Fibonacci. I don't know, maybe it's Italian name, or I don't know. I don't want to make assumption, but yeah, this is what we until where we came with this CNC server. Of course, there is a lot of things that has been shared also with the law enforcement, but this is what we can share right now. So again, sometimes we have a luck to hit them back and to reveal who they are and to share with the police and stuff like that. Again, some statistics here, sector distribution of the victims, so transportation, manufacturing, customer services, energy, food, everything, right? So basically they were targeting everything. So we didn't detect some kind of, geo-offense, right? Where they target only specific country like we had on the Silverfish research before, right? Which was excluding the ex-Russian countries. Here, they don't have that kind of stuff. So they go for everybody, which going to fail to their ransomware or to their attacks, right? Also we managed to calculate the average ransom, which was around $85,000 per victim. Of course, some wallet IDs and how the money flow was, they use a Wasabi network, right? Because they join and mix in a small chunks, right? When they distribute the money to be able to avoid tracking and stuff like that. Yeah, but you can see all the Bitcoin wallets and the amount that they transfer to each other. Yep. So now I'm going to do some very quick introduction into the USTA platform. And please contact me if you want to play with the USTA, okay? Which is very, very interesting threat intelligence platform built by our team. So now let me share my Chrome. Yep. Google Chrome. Okay, I hope that you can see my screen, right? This is USTA, right? The threat intelligence platform that is developed by our team. This is a main dashboard of the USTA. Here you can see our raw data accrued by our USTA sensor. So we deploy sensors all around the world and we fetch intelligence from them. Also here on the left side, you can see a tactical intelligence. Tactical intelligence means that our team of more than 60 plus people are heavily in underground monitoring and extracting data from the underground forums, highly private forums, and then trying to build up reports about the campaigns, about what's going on in this report, in these forums and stuff like that. We have also fraud intelligence here. So basically the full-blown working solution with the REST API support and stuff like that, especially for the fraud transaction and stuff like that. Compromise credit card information, compromise, login credentials and stuff like that. Also, brand protection is one of the features that the platform has. Security intelligence, vulnerabilities. I don't want to bother you guys. I know that you know all of this, but my aim here is just to show you guys and to give you a feeling a little bit how is everything built together. It's very, very nice build, and that you can play with it. Okay, just email me on my email, which I'm going to share later, and then you can play with it. So again, yeah, so this was a little bit about our platform itself. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys something interesting. Can you see my slides now? You share PowerPoint. Yep. So last we were here. Yeah, one more thing for today, and then I can take some questions. We already managed to monitor the V2, version 2 of the LockBit ransomware as a service. So again, we are not stopping. We are chasing them 24/7. We are in the monitoring phase right now. We monitor them. Law enforcement are involved, but we cannot publish anything yet because the ongoing investigation is going on and the CNC servers are still up and running. But yeah, wait for the version 2 of the LockBit ransomware as a service. Last thing, as I told you before, those are my research articles.